Yes, well, good evening, dear friends, both near and far. My name is Evangeline, and I thought it would be good to give a little bit of an introduction. Those of you might not know me very well, and I'm told that this gadget that I see before me, this rectangular-shaped, shiny gadget, is very useful for that purpose. What do we call this again? I can't remember. Silas! Silas, dear, the gadget. What do we call it? Of course, yes. He informs me that it is called an iPad. iPad, is that correct? iPad, YouPad, we all scream for the iPad. Back in my day, of course, well, technically it is still my day, we used to scream for ice cream, not newfangled, rectangular, shiny gadgets. But that's neither here nor there, is it? What we're here tonight to do is to get to know one another, get acquainted, just a little bit more. As I said, my name is Evangeline, and that's all you need to know for now. As I'm told, this newfangled thing here, a lady must be discreet about her identity. There are rogues about that would love to steal it, and I must be certain that the airwaves or the frequencies are secure. For those of you who wish to know me on a more intimate level, and by that I'm not talking in a manner that is unfitting or unbecoming, I'm just saying, if you'd like to know my date of birth, address, and telephone number, you'll have to wait until I see you in person, okay? And I can give you a card. But anyways, for those of you wondering what it is I do, well, actually, I am what is called a chrononaut. A chrononaut, dear friends, oh, pardon me. Excuse me. I'm just getting over a little cold. A chrononaut, dear friends, is someone who travels through time. In other words, a time traveler or a time navigator. And yes, dear friends, that is what I do. That is what I do best. I would say, if we were to break it down, that I am, roughly 2/3 lady, born and bred, and about 1/3 chrononaut, with just a dash of renegade thrown in there just for fun. And the renegade part actually comes in quite handy on my travels with Silas over there. Silas, oh goodness, where do I even start with Silas? Well, let's see. I found him. Yes, I found him resting under a sycamore tree, and he looked very sullen and very gaunt and extremely malnourished. And so I said to myself, well, there's a strapping, maybe once was strapping young chap who looks like he could use a good meal. So I invited him over for a stew, and in fact, he's never left. And he's become sort of my surrogate son, as it were. And we go everywhere together. We are quite a team. Now, this is just a bit of a disclaimer. I do not, for 1 minute, condone what Silas does to make his livelihood. It is very grim and very grave. And no lady of good breeding would ever associate with the likes of someone like Silas. But I'm telling you, and I will tell you this between you and me, that it is a relationship that is mutually beneficial, and I see it as nothing more. On that level, of course, he has grown on me a little bit. As I mentioned, he is sort of like a surrogate son. I'm able to separate what he does from the man that he is, if that makes sense. And it works well. In plain words, Silas is an assassin. He's known more commonly, and you might have seen his face on some posters, as Silas the Coffin von Eichenstein. And he is a bounty hunter, and he travels back and forth through time to capture his bounty. And that is how we make our money. I have been known to dabble here and there in the creative arts, but as we all know, fellow creative artists out there, that doesn't always bring the ching, if you know what I'm saying. It's always good to have a couple more irons in the fire. And Silas is a very, very poor chronographer. No, what's the word? Oh, goodness. You know, time traveler. He's very rusty. And so he does need me to be able to navigate us, looking for the portals, so to speak, all of that. Yes. So it's mutually beneficial, and it works very well, although I don't condone what he does. And I always want to say that up front, because I don't want to mislead people into thinking that I am that sort of woman that would feel comfortable taking someone's life, which is simply not the case. Simply not the case at all. I'm along to steer the way, as I said, to make sure we get to where we need to be. Yes, dear. No. I left it in 1910. Uh-huh. Oh, we can always go back for it, dear. No problem. He's worried. He left his pocket watch in 1910. I said, no worries, we can go get it any time. It's easily retrieved. I remember right where I left it. But anyway, there you have it. You might be seeing me around. I do quite a bit of public appearances from time to time. Coming up shortly in, I think, a fortnight, which in plain speak, that's a roughly 2-week time period. I will be available to capture your visage, as it were. And what does that mean? That means to take your photograph. Yes, very, very new technology, a modern marvel of its time, really. A photo booth. I will be available to take orders for your pictures. You may contact me at the event, which is coming up. It's called the Time Travelers Ball. It's coming up at the end of May, and if you'd like more information, you can get a hold of me privately, and I can give you all the digs, yes. So, a little bit about me. Evangeline, time traveler, 2/3 lady, 1/3 time traveler, and a little bit of renegade thrown in there just for fun. It was a pleasure talking with you this evening, and I do look forward to our next conversation. Good night.